The Catharian fleet materialized at the edge of Earth's solar system with the arrogance of conquerors who had never known defeat. Admiral Vexthor stood on the bridge of the flagship Dominion, his crystalline exoskeleton gleaming under the harsh light of distant Sol. His species had conquered 47 worlds across the galaxy, each capitulation swift and decisive. Earth would be no different. Primitive carbon-based lifeforms, he sneered, reviewing the intelligence reports. Single moon planet, basic electromagnetic communications, crude chemical propulsion. We'll have this world pacified within a solar cycle. The Catharians had observed Earth for precisely 17 rotations, cataloging what they believed to be a typical pre-spaceflight civilization. Cities sprawled across continents, crude metal vehicles traversed primitive roadways, and electromagnetic signals betrayed a species barely beginning to reach beyond their atmosphere. The invasion force of 12,000 vessels seemed almost excessive for such a backward world. What the Catharians hadn't realized was that they had been watching a carefully orchestrated performance. Dr. Elena Vasquez monitored the alien fleet from Deep Space Station Omega, hidden within the asteroid belt and wrapped in quantum stealth fields that rendered it invisible to conventional sensors. As Director of Terran Strategic Defense, she had spent decades preparing for this moment, first contact with a hostile alien species. Phase 1 complete, she reported to the underground command center buried beneath the Colorado Rockies. They've taken the bait. All surface installations are maintaining the facade. The primitive cities the Catharians observed were indeed real, but they were museum pieces, carefully preserved settlements that showcased early 21st century technology. The actual human civilization existed in vast underground complexes, underwater cities, and orbital habitats cloaked beyond alien detection capabilities. Humanity had learned to hide its true nature centuries ago, after the first tentative signals from space had taught them that the galaxy was far from empty. Commander Marcus Thompson, stationed aboard the hidden orbital platform New Geneva, watched as Catharian scouts began their descent toward Earth's atmosphere. The aliens moved with the confidence of apex predators, their energy weapons charging as they prepared to demonstrate their superiority to the primitives below. All units, maintain communications silence, Thompson ordered. Let them make the first move. The Catharian attack commenced with surgical precision. Energy beams lanced down from orbit, targeting what appeared to be military installations and government buildings. The aliens expected panic, surrender, perhaps a few futile gestures of resistance from chemical explosive weapons. Instead, they encountered something unprecedented. As the first wave of Catharian fighters swept low over major population centers, the ground itself seemed to come alive. What the aliens had mistaken for primitive concrete and asphalt shifted and flowed, revealing complex geometric patterns. Nanoscale defensive networks, embedded within every surface for over 2 centuries, activated simultaneously across the planet. The Catharian fighters found themselves trapped within localized gravitational fields generated by quantum manipulation technology that their civilization wouldn't develop for another millennium. Their energy weapons, designed to overwhelm primitive deflector shields, proved utterly ineffective against defensive systems that operated by folding spacetime itself. Admiral Vexthor watched in growing horror as his vanguard force simply vanished, not destroyed, but displaced into pocket dimensions where they would remain until humanity decided their fate. Impossible, he whispered, his translator making the words sound hollow and distant. The intelligence was flawless. They're primitives. Dr. Vasquez's voice echoed across every Catharian vessel simultaneously, transmitted through quantum entanglement communicators that bypassed their shields entirely. Admiral Vexthor of the Catharian hegemony, she began, her tone carrying the weight of absolute authority. You have made a fundamental error in your assessment of our species. What you observed was our past, not our present. We have been spacefaring for over 800 years. We have colonies in 7 star systems. We have watched your empire expand across the galaxy, studying your tactics, learning your weaknesses. The massive Catharian dreadnoughts found themselves suddenly surrounded by ships that had materialized from what appeared to be empty space, vessels whose design principles transcended anything in their technological database. We are humanity, Yar. Vasquez continued, and we evolved as persistence hunters. We don't simply defeat our enemies, we outlast them, outthink them, and when necessary, we make them extinct. You declared war on a species that has been preparing for this conversation since before your homeworld achieved spaceflight. Admiral Vexthor's exoskeleton began to crack under the stress of revelation. In 47 conquests, his fleet had never encountered a trap this elaborate, this patient, this perfectly executed. What? He managed, what do you want? Surrender, came the simple reply. Unconditionally. Your species will be relocated to a suitable world where you can live peacefully under human oversight. Your technology will be studied, your aggression, corrected. The Catharian fleet, which had arrived as conquerors, found themselves prisoners of a species that had turned patience into the ultimate weapon. Earth hadn't just survived first contact. It had won a war that its enemies never realized had already begun centuries before they arrived. Humanity had learned well from the cosmos. In a galaxy full of predators, sometimes the greatest strength was to appear as prey until the perfect moment to reveal one's true nature. The hunt was over. The Catharians had been caught.